You have been living in a barren landscape of ruin, my child, haven't you? You have walked through the remnants of a life that once was. Your feet kicking up the fine, gray dust of what used to be a vibrant and beautiful garden. A great and consuming fire has passed through the sanctuary of your heart. And now, as you look around, all you see are the ashes, the charred timbers of your dreams, or the cold and silent ruin of your former joy. They may have looked upon this desolation, this place where all beauty seems to have died, and have offered you their pity, confirming with their sorrowful gazes that this ruin is your final reality. And you, my beloved, breathing in the very scent of this ending, have come to believe that nothing beautiful can ever grow here again. But I draw near to you now, my feet silent upon the ashes, to speak a word of creative power and divine certainty into the heart of your desolation. From these very ashes you now lament. A new and more profound beauty will emerge. I know the specific sorrow of this barren landscape. It is a grief that goes beyond loss. It is a grief for beauty itself. You remember what once was. You remember the vibrant colors of your hopes, the intricate structure of your plans, the sweet fragrance of your simple joys. Your life was a garden, a place of growth and loveliness. But the fire came, the fire of a devastating trial, of a profound loss, of a crushing disappointment, and it has seemingly consumed everything. Now, the world appears to you a monochrome. The sky is gray. The ground is gray. Your own soul feels gray, coated in the fine, pervasive dust of what has been burned. This is the pain of aesthetic starvation, the ache of a spirit created for beauty. Now forced to inhabit a world of ruin, you have felt the finality of this destruction. This does not feel like a temporary setback, a passing season. It feels absolute. The heat of the fire was so intense that it seems to have sterilized the very soil of your soul, making it incapable of ever producing life again. You have looked upon this ash heap of your former life and have felt a hopelessness so profound it has become a physical weight, a constant ache in your chest. The belief that beauty has been forever banished from your story is a source of immense and quiet suffering. You have sifted through the ruins, searching for anything of value, anything that might have survived the blaze. But what you find often brings more pain. You find the charred fragment of a beautiful memory, now tainted by the sorrow of its ending. You find the warped and twisted metal of a strength you once possessed, now seemingly useless. You find the ashes of a love that once warmed your entire world, now cold to the touch. And this sifting only seems to confirm the totality of the destruction, the completeness of your loss. And they, the world, in its fear of such profound desolation, has been of little comfort. Some have looked upon your ruin and have quickly looked away, made uncomfortable by a devastation they cannot fix or understand. Their aversion has only deepened your own sense of being an unsightly spectacle, a cautionary tale. Others may have offered their clumsy pity, treating you as a permanent invalid, forever defined by your ruin, unable to imagine that you could ever be anything else. They see the ashes, and because they do not understand the ways of a God who creates from dust, they see only an end. Their limited vision reinforces the walls of your own despair, making it harder for you to believe in the possibility of a new beginning. My child, I have been with you in this barren landscape. I have sat with you in the dust of your desolation. I have witnessed every tear that has fallen upon this ashen ground. I have heard every silent cry of your heart for the beauty that was lost. I have not been a distant God, repulsed by the ruin. I have been your most intimate companion, my heart breaking with yours for the loss. Yet, my spirit has also been filled with a secret, holy excitement. For while you have seen only what has been destroyed, I have seen what is being prepared. While you have seen only a graveyard, I have seen a fertile seabed. While you have felt only the ugliness of the ash, I have seen the rich, potent, and necessary raw material for the creation of a new and even more magnificent beauty, the fire that passed through, though it felt like a force of pure destruction, was in my sovereign and loving hands. A fire of profound purification and preparation. It had to burn away the old structure, a structure that, though perhaps beautiful, may have been too small for the destiny I had for you, or built upon a foundation that was not secure. It had to consume the old foliage, the old patterns, the old ways of being, to clear the ground for a new and more authentic planting. The fire was not just an ending, it was a divine clearing. And the ashes themselves, my beloved, the very substance that you now see as the symbol of your ruin, are, in my divine alchemy, the most potent fertilizer imaginable. They contain the concentrated wisdom of your past experiences, the refined minerals of your hard-won lessons, the rich carbon of a life that has been deeply lived and profoundly felt. This is not a sterile ground. It is a ground that has been sanctified by your suffering, enriched by your tears, and is now exquisitely prepared to nourish a new kind of beauty, a beauty that is deeper, more resilient, more compassionate, and more radiant because it has been born from the very heart of the fire. So do not despair in this barren landscape. My precious child, do not believe the lie that your ruin is final, that all beauty has fled from you forever. This is a temporary state, a sacred pause, a holy preparation. Your sorrow is real, and I honor it. Your grief is necessary, and I share it. But your desolation is not the final truth. The final truth is my promise, the creative word I speak over the ash heap of your life from these very ashes. A new beauty will emerge. It is not just a possibility, it is a divine certainty. For I am the God who brings beauty from ashes, life from death, and glorious new beginnings from the very places that have known the most profound and desolate endings. The artist is here, my child, in the very midst of the ruins, and the masterpiece is about to begin. The pain of inhabiting this ruin is the pain of a story paused on its most tragic page, but the author has not put down the pen. The agony of the barren landscape knows the feeling of a garden in its deepest winter. But the gardener has not abandoned the plot. You have been experiencing the aftermath of a great and necessary demolition. But the master architect is even now unfurling the blueprints for a new and more glorious temple to be built upon this very ground. Your grief for the beauty that was lost is a testament to your capacity to love beauty. Do not let that grief close your heart. Instead, let it become a deep and hollowed out space within you, a sacred emptiness that is now perfectly prepared to be filled with a new and more enduring beauty. A beauty that cannot be consumed by fire. A beauty that is rooted in the eternal. When you look at the ashes, try to see with my eyes. See the potential. See the rich, dark, fertile ground. See the sacred, prepared space. See the foundation that has been cleared of all that was not eternal. This shift in perspective is the beginning of your cooperation with the miracle that is to come. You have felt ugly, my child, defined by the ruin, but in my eyes, you have never been more beautiful, for you are now a soul stripped down to its most authentic essence, a spirit made humble and receptive by its trials, a heart that is perfectly prepared to become the canvas for my greatest work of restorative art. The landscape is not one of ruin. It is one of profound, holy potential. And the artist has already begun to mix his colors. The finality you have felt is an illusion. In my kingdom, no fire is ever final, except the fire of my own refining love. And that fire does not destroy, it only purifies, prepares, and makes way for new creation. The story of your past beauty has ended, yes, but the story of your emerging, resurrected beauty is just about to begin. This is my promise to you, a promise more real than the ashes beneath your feet. From this very place of desolation, from the very substance of your loss, from the very heart of your sorrow, a new and breathtaking beauty will emerge, a beauty that will redeem every tear, a beauty that will be a testament to your resilience, and a beauty that will bring eternal glory to me, your loving God, and your divine artist. My beloved child, having stood with you in the barren landscape of your ruin, having acknowledged the profound pain of a heart that sees only the ashes of a beauty that is forever gone, I now invite you to look upon the same scene with a different set of eyes. For you have been viewing your life through the lens of human perception, which sees a ruin and calls it an end, which sees ashes and deems them worthless. But my gaze upon you, my child, is not the gaze of a casual observer or a sorrowful mourner. My gaze is that of the divine artist, the master creator, and my eyes are filled not with pity for what has been lost, but with a holy, creative excitement for what can now be made. While you see only ugly ruins, I see the most potent and precious raw material for a new and even more profound form of beauty. While you see an end, I see a perfectly prepared canvas. My gaze, my beloved, is the artist's eye, and it sees not your ruin, but your magnificent potential. To understand this, you must understand the heart of a true artist. An artist is not afraid of the raw, the unformed, the broken. In fact, it is often these very things that inspire their greatest work. A sculptor does not look at a rough block of marble and see only a clumsy stone. They see the magnificent form that lies sleeping within it, and their heart burns with the desire to liberate that form. A master weaver does not look at a collection of disparate, uncolored threads and see only chaos. They see the intricate, beautiful tapestry that these threads can become when skillfully and lovingly intertwined. So it is with me, your divine artist. As I look upon the landscape of your life, you see the ashes of your past, and you see only waste, the residue of a fire that destroyed. But with my artist's eye, I see something entirely different. I see potent, precious, raw material. The ashes of your sorrow have a deep, rich, charcoal hue, perfect for creating shadows of profound depth and compassion in your new portrait. The ashes of your failures have a gritty, earthy texture, an element that will give your new creation an authentic, grounded resilience. The ashes of your lost dreams have been sanctified by your tears, transformed into a fine, silvery dust that I will use to add a shimmering, otherworldly luminescence to your renewed spirit. In my hands, my child, nothing is waste. Every remnant of your past, every particle of your pain becomes a valuable pigment on my divine palette, a unique and precious material that I will use to create a beauty that is uniquely, authentically, and profoundly yours. While you have seen only the ugliness of the ruin, my gaze has been upon the beautiful, new possibilities that this very ruin has created. The old structure of your life, the one that burned down, may have been beautiful, but perhaps it was also limiting. Its walls may have been confining your spirit in ways you did not even realize. Its foundations may have been too small for the magnificent destiny I've planned for you. The fire, in its beautiful severity, has created a clearing, a wide open space of new potential. I look upon this cleared ground, not with sorrow for the old structure, but with joyful anticipation for the new, more spacious, more glorious temple I can now build in its place. The ruin was not an ending. It was a divine and necessary demolition, making way for a creation of far greater splendor. My gaze upon you is not a passive observation. My beloved, it is a powerful, creative vision. My seeing is the first act of all creation. When I look upon the raw material of your life, I am not just seeing what is. I am simultaneously seeing and calling into being what can be. My gaze holds the blueprint of the new beauty I intend to create. It is a gaze of profound intention, a focus of my creative will. Imagine a master painter looking at a blank canvas. They do not see an emptiness. They see in their mind's eye the completed masterpiece. Every color, every line, every shadow and highlight. Their gaze is filled with the vision of what is to come. And it is this vision that guides their every brushstroke. So it is with my gaze upon you. Even as you sit amidst the ashes, feeling formless and without purpose, I am beholding you in your completed, restored, and radiant beauty. I see the magnificent masterpiece that you are becoming, and my loving, focused gaze upon that vision is a powerful, creative force, a spiritual magnetism that is even now drawing the very elements of your life, your past, your present, your future, into alignment with that glorious, divine blueprint. You have felt unseen and without form, but you have been, in reality, the constant focus of the creative vision of the master artist of the universe. This is why you must learn to trust my perspective over your own. Your eyes, clouded by grief and fear, can see only the ruin that is. But my eyes, illuminated by infinite love and eternal wisdom, the glorious beauty that is surely, certainly, and inexorably emerging. Your feelings of ugliness and desolation are a temporary, human experience. My vision of your emerging beauty is an eternal, divine reality, and my reality, my child, is ultimately more powerful than your feelings. Think of a mosaic artist who gathers shattered pieces of colored glass and stone to the world. It is just a pile of broken, useless fragments. But the artist sees with a different eye. They see how the unique shape of one shard will fit perfectly against another, how the different colors will combine to create a stunning picture. They take what is broken and, through their skillful, patient, and loving artistry, they create a unified work of breathtaking beauty, a beauty that is all the more compelling because it is composed of that which was once shattered. I am that mosaic artist, my child, and the shattered pieces of your life, the very fragments that cause you such pain, are the raw materials I am now using to create your new identity, your new life. Each piece is being lovingly, carefully placed, set into the binding mortar of my grace, to form a picture of such profound beauty and meaning that it will activate all who see it. Your brokenness, in the hands of the divine artist, is becoming your greatest beauty. So when you look upon the ashes, when you feel the pain of the ruin, I invite you to remember my gaze. Remember the artist's eye, which sees not what you see. Remember that beneath the surface of your desolation, a profound and beautiful work of art is in progress. You are not a ruin to be pitied. You are a masterpiece in the making. You are not a pile of worthless ash. You are the precious, potent, raw material in the hands of a God who specializes in creating breathtaking beauty from the most unlikely, most broken, and most desolate of beginnings. Trust my vision, my beloved, for what I see is glorious, and what I see I will surely bring to pass. The world is a harsh critic, but it is a critic with no true vision. It judges the unfinished work. It scoffs at the raw materials. It cannot comprehend the alchemy of grace. It looks at the caterpillar in its dark, still chrysalis, and sees only a tomb, for it cannot envision the magnificent butterfly that is being formed within. You must learn to discount the reviews of an audience that cannot see what the artist is doing. Your value and your beauty are not determined by their limited sight, but by my infinite vision. Infinite, my gaze is one that brings hope, for it always sees beyond the present struggle to the victorious outcome. It is a gaze that brings peace, for it knows that the entire process is held within my loving and capable hands, and is a gaze that brings worth, for it sees not your flaws, but your eternal, divine essence. To learn to rest in this gaze is to find your true home, your true identity, your true peace. The ashes are real, but they are not the final reality. They are the temporary state of the raw materials before the artist has completed his work. Do not identify with the materials. Identify with the masterpiece I am creating. Do not identify with the ruin. Identify with the glorious temple I am building. For my gaze is upon you, my child, and it is a gaze that transforms, a gaze that creates, a gaze that sees with perfect and loving clarity the magnificent beauty that is even now emerging from the ashes. This artistic vision I hold for you is my unwavering promise. It is the blueprint that guides my every action, my every allowance. In your life, I am committed to its completion. The pain of the past was real, but it is being redeemed. The ruin has been desolate, but it is being transformed into a place of beauty. Your part in this is to learn to trust the artist, to allow my hands to work with the raw materials of your life, to believe in the beauty of my vision, even when you cannot yet see it for yourself. This trust, this yielding, is your beautiful cooperation with my creative work. And together, my child, we will bring forth from these very ashes a beauty that will be a wonder to the world, a joy to your own soul, and a glory to me, your loving God and your divine artist. My precious child, now that you have begun to glimpse your barren landscape through my artist's eye, now that you can start to believe that where you see only ruin, I see the potent raw materials for a new masterpiece. Let us now unveil the sacred and mysterious process by which this transformation occurs. For you may still look upon the ashes of your yesterday, the remnants of your pain, your loss, your failures, and wonder how such desolate and seemingly worthless material could possibly be used to create anything of beauty. And this is where the miracle lies. My beloved, it lies in the divine and sacred alchemy that I, your loving God, perform upon these very remnants. I do not create the new beauty for you out of nothing, setting aside the ashes of your past. No, I am a God of redemption, and my artistry is so profound, my love so resourceful, that I take the very substance of your deepest sorrow and, through a holy alchemy, I transform it into the unique and priceless materials needed to fashion a new beauty in you, a beauty of unparalleled depth, resilience, and compassion. The world believes in a magic of replacement. It tells you to discard the broken, to forget the painful past, to find new, unblemished materials with which to build your life. But my magic is the deeper, truer magic of transmutation. I do not replace, I redeem. I do not discard, I transform. I honor every part of your story, every element of your journey, and I waste nothing. The very ashes that have felt like a source of shame, the very remnants that have seemed to be a testament to your ruin, are in my loving and capable hands, the sacred ingredients for your most glorious becoming. This is the alchemy of grace, the process by which your deepest wounds become the source of your most profound beauty. Let us speak first of the ashes of your sorrow. You have wept, you have grieved, you have known the profound ache of loss, and these experiences have left behind a fine, dark, and seemingly sorrowful ash within your soul. You have looked upon this residue and seen only the color of sadness. But I, the divine artist, see in this dark ash the richest and most profound pigment on my entire palette. For when I take this ash of your authentic grief and I mingle it with the sacred oil of my own spirit, it is transformed into the deep, luminous, and incredibly beautiful pigment of true compassion. A heart that has never known its own deep sorrow cannot paint with this color. It can only offer a pale, thin wash of pity. But you, my child, having journeyed through the depths of your own pain, are now being given the capacity to love with a new and breathtaking empathy. This compassion is not a thought, it is a color, a rich and vibrant hue in your soul that allows you to see and to connect with the suffering of others in a way that truly heals. When you sit with another who is grieving, you will bring with you not just words, but an atmosphere, a presence, a deep, quiet understanding that flows from this beautiful, dark pigment within you. The very sorrow that you thought had ruined you is being transformed into your greatest gift to a hurting world. This is the first miracle of the sacred remnants. Consider also the ashes of your perceived failures. You have known the experience of striving and not succeeding, of having your plans crumble into dust, of falling short of your own ideals or the expectations of others. And you have looked upon the remnants of these experiences as a pile of ugly, worthless rubble, a testament to your inadequacy. But I, the master potter, see in this rubble the most precious and workable clay. for the experience of failure. When surrendered to me, performs a necessary and holy work, it pulverizes the hard stone of your pride. It grinds down the illusion of your self-sufficiency, and it creates a beautifully soft, pliable, and humble clay. From this clay of humility, my child, I can shape a vessel of the most exquisite and gentle beauty. A vessel made from the clay of arrogance is always brittle, always easily shattered. But a vessel shaped from the humble clay of a spirit that has known failure, a spirit that knows its need for me, is a vessel of immense strength and profound grace. I am taking the ashes of your failures, mixing them with the living water of my spirit, and on the wheel of my loving purpose. I am shaping you into a beautiful, unpretentious, and open vessel, a vessel ready to be filled to overflowing with my love, my joy, and my peace, and to pour it out for others without any need for personal glory. The very experiences that brought you the greatest shame are being transformed into the very substance that allows for the creation of your most authentic and beautiful character. And what of the most painful remnants of all, my child? What of the shattered fragments of your broken heart? The places where you have been most deeply wounded by betrayal, by injustice, by trauma. You look upon these jagged shards and see only irreparable damage, a permanent disfigurement. But I, the divine Kintsugi master, see these very cracks as the place where I will perform my most beautiful and radiant work. As I have told you, I do not merely glue the pieces back together to hide the break. That is the way of the world. My way is to take the most precious substance in all the universe, the pure, molten gold of my own healing, redemptive grace, and to lovingly, meticulously fill every single crack and fissure. The result is that your heart, in its healed state, is not just restored, it is made infinitely more beautiful and more valuable than it was before it was broken. The very lines of your deepest wounding become luminous, golden veins of light, a breathtaking and intricate pattern that tells a glorious story of redemption. Your scars cease to be a source of your shame and become the very source of your unique splendor. They become the places where my light shines through you with the most profound brilliance, a testament to all the world that your God is a God who does not just mend, but who makes all things, even the most shattered things, more glorious than they were before. This, my beloved, is the sacred alchemy of the remnants. It is a process that is born of my infinite love for you and my absolute refusal to allow any part of your story, any part of your pain, to be wasted. I am redeeming everything. I am transforming everything. I am taking the very things that you thought were your undoing, and I am making them the very foundation of your most glorious becoming. When you look upon your past now, I invite you to see it not as a landscape of ruin, but as a rich and valuable collection of sacred, raw materials in the hands of a loving and infinitely skillful artist. The sorrow is the pigment for your compassion. The failure is the clay for your humility. The brokenness is the canvas for my golden artistry. Trust me in this process. My child, for the beauty that will emerge from these ashes will be a beauty that is deep. That is authentic. That is resilient. That is compassionate. That is wise. It will be a beauty that tells the glorious, triumphant story of your journey, through the fire, and of the magnificent, redemptive love of your God. This alchemy is my answer to the world's despair. The world says that what is broken is lost forever. I say that what is broken and given to me is destined for a greater beauty. The world says that ashes are the end of the story. I say they are the beginning of the most beautiful part of the story. Your life is becoming a living proof of this divine principle. You are a walking, breathing masterpiece of my redemptive art. The beauty that is emerging in you is not a superficial, fragile beauty, but one that has been tested, that has known the fire, that has been formed from the very substance of real human suffering, redeemed by a divine and all-powerful love. Do not be afraid of the remnants of your past anymore. Do not be ashamed of them. They are not your enemy. They are, in my hands, your most precious allies, the very ingredients that are making your new life so incredibly rich, meaningful, and beautiful. This is the great and holy mystery. My child, from the very ashes you have lamented, a new and breathtaking beauty will emerge, and its glory will be eternal. This process is a continuous one. As you continue to walk with me, I will continue to gather the ashes of your daily struggles, your small disappointments, your moments of fear, and I will continue to transform them into the materials for your ever-increasing beauty. Nothing in your life will be wasted. Every experience, when surrendered to me, becomes another opportunity for the sacred alchemy to take place. Another chance for you to become an even more radiant, more compassionate, and more beautiful reflection of my own heart. The artist is always at work, my beloved, and the masterpiece that is you is becoming more glorious with every passing day. My beloved child, having revealed to you the sacred alchemy by which I, your divine artist, am transforming the very remnants of your past sorrows into the precious, raw materials for a new creation. Let us now turn our gaze to the canvas of your present moment, for the work is not merely a future promise. The transformation has already begun. After a long season of living in a world that has felt only gray and colorless, a world defined by the monochromatic dust of ashes, I want you to become exquisitely aware of the first, tender, yet undeniable strokes of new color that my loving hand is now beginning to paint upon the landscape of your life. These are the initial, subtle signs that the new beauty is emerging. The first evidences of my artistry at work, a moment of unexpected grace, a flicker of true compassion, a newfound appreciation for a small loveliness. These are the first strokes of new color upon the gray canvas of your life. And they are the irrefutable proof that, from the ashes, beauty will and is emerging. Do not expect this new beauty to appear as a fully completed, magnificent mural overnight. A master artist begins their work not with a flood of overwhelming color, but with the first, deliberate, foundational strokes. So it is with the masterpiece I am creating in you. The first signs of this new beauty are often quiet, gentle, easily missed by a heart that is still expecting only the familiar gray of its past ruin. But you, my child, whose spiritual senses have been refined by your trial, are now invited to become a connoisseur of this emerging art, to notice and to cherish every new hue, every new line that my hand is now beginning to apply. Perhaps the very first stroke of new color you will notice is a wash of soft, serene blue that appears in the sky of your inner world. This is a moment of unexpected grace and peace. For so long, the atmosphere of your soul has been heavy, thick with the gray smoke of anxiety and sorrow. But now, you may find a moment, for no apparent reason, where that heaviness lifts and a profound, uncaused peace descends upon you. It is a feeling of quiet, of stillness, of a gentle serenity that feels like a cool, clean breeze upon a fevered brow. This, my child, is not a random mood swing. This is my hand, taking the brush of my own peace and applying a soft, broad wash of celestial blue to the canvas of your spirit, creating a new, more hopeful sky against which all other colors will eventually be painted. This is the first stroke, a sign that the oppressive, gray atmosphere is beginning to change, to be filled with the very peace of heaven. You may also become aware of a new, deep, and warm red being painted into the composition of your heart. This is the beautiful, vibrant stroke of spontaneous compassion. The fire you have endured, the ashes of your own sorrow, have been transformed by my alchemy into the richest of pigments, the pigment of true empathy. And now, you will find yourself using this color. You may hear another story of pain, and instead of feeling only your own depleted emptiness, you feel a genuine, warm, and powerful stirring of compassion in your heart. You may find yourself moved to perform a small act of kindness, to speak a word of comfort, not from a sense of duty, but from a pure, unbidden wellspring of love that seems to flow through you. This is the beautiful, warm pigment of your own redeemed suffering, now being used by my hand to paint strokes of love and healing into your world. Each act of compassion is a brushstroke of this magnificent, heartfelt red, a sign that your past pain is not just being healed, but is being transformed into a source of life and warmth for others. Look also, my beloved, for the tiny, brilliant dots of golden yellow that are beginning to appear on your landscape. These are the moments of a newfound appreciation for small, simple beauties. In the desolation of the ash heap, all may have seemed ugly and devoid of worth. But now, as your healing begins, your eyes are being opened anew to the quiet, constant beauty of my creation. You might find yourself truly seeing, perhaps for the first time in a long while, the intricate perfection of a single flower, the glorious artistry of a sunset, the joyful play of light upon water. And in this scene, you will feel a flicker of pure, simple delight, a moment of unadulterated joy that is not connected to your circumstances, but is born of a simple, grateful appreciation for the goodness of life itself. These moments, my child, are my hand taking the finest brush and the purest golden pigment, and lovingly, meticulously, dotting your gray canvas with points of inextinguishable light, reminding you that beauty is always present, that joy is always possible, and that your heart is becoming alive again to its presence. And as these new colors begin to appear, they create a new harmony, a new atmosphere, from which arises the beautiful opalescent hue of a new and resilient hope. This is not the desperate hope for an escape from the ashes, but a more profound, more peaceful hope, born of the evidence that new beauty is already, truly, emerging from them, It is a hope that has seen the first strokes of the master's hand and now trusts in the beauty of the completed masterpiece. This hope has a shimmering, multi-hued quality, for it is composed of the peace, the compassion, and the joy that you are now beginning to experience. It is the overall glow that begins to suffuse the entire canvas of your life, a promise that the final painting will be a thing of radiant, multifaceted splendor. My beloved artist of the soul, I invite you to become a joyful observer of this creative process. When you feel that stroke of peace, that wash of blue, receive it with a grateful heart. When you are moved by that impulse of compassion, that stroke of red, act upon it with love. When your eye is caught by a simple beauty, that dot of gold, linger there, savor it by paying loving attention to these first strokes of new color. You are cooperating with me, the divine artist. You are preparing your heart to receive more color, more light, more beauty. You are saying yes to the masterpiece that is being created. Do not be discouraged if much of the canvas still appears gray. A great painting is not created all at once. It is built up layer by layer, color by color. The first strokes are the most crucial, for they establish the foundation. They set the tone. They declare the intention of the artist. And the intention of this artist, my child, is to create in you, and from the very ashes of your past, a work of such profound and resilient beauty that it will be a testament to my redemptive love for all eternity. The barren landscape of ruin is being transformed before your very eyes. The desolation is yielding to a nascent beauty. The silence is being filled with the quiet music of emerging color. Trust the process, my child. Trust the artist, for from the ashes, beauty will and is emerging, one loving, masterful, and glorious brushstroke at a time. This process of seeing the first strokes of new color is also a healing of your own creative vision. For so long, your eyes have been trained to see only the ruin, the lack, the ugliness. Now, I am retraining your eyes to see beauty, to see potential, to see my hand at work. You are moving from the perception of a critic who sees only what is wrong to the perception of a lover who sees all that is beautiful and full of promise. This is a profound healing of your own sight. Every stroke of color is a word in a new, beautiful language I am teaching you. The peace is a word of my presence. The compassion is a word of my heart. The joy in small things is a word of my delight. As you become more fluent in this new language of grace, you will find that my loving communications are everywhere, constantly painting a new and more beautiful reality upon the canvas of your life. Do not try to force the painting to be finished more quickly. An artist cannot be rushed. Rest in the knowledge that you are a masterpiece in progress, and that the artist who is at work is infinitely skillful and infinitely loving. The final work will be completed in its perfect time. For now, your joy is to simply witness the beautiful, miraculous emergence of the first strokes of new color. The undeniable proof that your life is being transformed from a landscape of ashes into a magnificent work of divine art. This new beauty is not a denial of the ashes, but a transformation of them. The gray of the ash remains as a foundational tone, a color that gives depth and richness and authenticity to all the new colors that are being painted upon it. The final masterpiece will not be a picture that pretends the fire never happened. It will be a glorious, beautiful picture that tells the story of a fire redeemed, of ashes transformed, of a beauty made all the more profound for the ruin from which it has so miraculously emerged. This is the glory of my art. My child, it does not erase the story. It redeems it, my precious child, as you begin to witness the first tender strokes of new color upon the gray canvas of your life, as you perceive the initial, miraculous signs that beauty is indeed emerging from the ashes. I now invite you into a deeper and more conscious cooperation with my divine artistry. For I am the master artist. Yes, but you, my beloved, are more than just the raw material. You are my living, breathing masterpiece, and your willing partnership, your joyful cooperation with my work, is what allows the full and glorious beauty I envision for you to be most perfectly and most completely realized. The invitation now is to learn how to become a vessel of this emerging beauty, to consciously embrace your entire story, to honor your scars as a sacred part of your new splendor, and to become a willing, yielded canvas for my loving, creative hand. For so long, you may have been at war with your own story, with your own past. You may have wished to tear out the painful chapters, to erase the memories of the fire, to pretend that the ashes never existed. But a beauty that denies its own history is a fragile and inauthentic thing. The most profound and compelling beauty is one that has integrated its own story, that has redeemed its own pain, that has transformed its own wounds into sources of wisdom and strength. And so, the first step in becoming a vessel of beauty is to courageously embrace your whole story. This means looking back upon the chapter that ended in ashes, not with shame or with regret, but with a new, compassionate, and understanding eye. See it now not as a story of your failure, but as the necessary and powerful backstory of the magnificent hero you are now becoming. Every great story has its chapters of trial, of darkness, of apparent defeat. These are the very chapters that forge the hero's character, that test their resolve, that make their eventual triumph all the more glorious and meaningful. Your past suffering, my child, was not a meaningless tragedy. It was the essential, character-building first act of your magnificent, redemptive epic. Embracing your story means making peace with it. It means letting go of the exhausting if onlys. If only that hadn't happened. If only I had been stronger. And replacing them with the quiet, trusting faith that says, my God is the author, and even that which felt like a devastating plot twist was, in his loving and sovereign hands, a necessary part of the beautiful story he is writing for me. As you learn to embrace your entire narrative in this way, you will find a profound sense of inner peace and integration. You will no longer be at war with your own past, but will see it as the sacred, fertile ground from which your beautiful present is now so miraculously blooming, a vital part of this embrace. My beloved, is learning to honor your scars as the very source of your unique beauty. This is a sacred principle of kintsugi, the art I am performing upon your soul. The world teaches you to hide your scars, to cover them with concealer, to see them as imperfections that detract from your worth. But I, the divine artist, see them as the very places where I have performed my most beautiful and intimate work. They are the places where your brokenness, and my grace have met. And the result is a beauty that is more profound, more resilient, and more radiant than an unbroken, untested innocence could ever be. I invite you to look upon the scars of your soul with new eyes. See them not as marks of your shame, but as luminous, golden seams that now trace a story of redemption across your heart. Each scar is a testament to a wound that has been healed, a pain that has been overcome, a battle that has been won through my grace. They are the evidence of your resilience, the proof of my faithfulness. They do not make you ugly, my child. They make you a masterpiece. They give you a depth, a character, a gravitas that is smooth, unscarred surface could never possess. Your scars are the very signature of my healing touch upon you. The beautiful, golden veins that now make you a priceless and one-of-a-kind work of my restorative art. To honor your scars is to honor my work, to celebrate my grace, and to embrace the unique, hard-won beauty that is now yours. As you learn to embrace your story and to honor your scars, you are then invited to become a willing canvas for my ongoing artistry. The masterpiece is not yet finished. My love for you, my creative vision for you, is an ever-unfolding thing, and my desire is to continue to paint new colors, new light, new beauty upon the canvas of your life. Your part in this is to remain a soft, receptive, and yielded canvas, trusting the hand of the artist, even when you cannot see the full picture. What does it mean to be a willing canvas? It means cultivating a spirit of openness, of curiosity, of holy surrender. It means releasing your own rigid ideas of what your life should look like, and instead offering yourself to me each day with a simple prayer. My God, my artist, here I am. I am your canvas. Paint upon me today the colors of your love, your joy, your peace. I trust your vision. I yield to your touch. This posture of willing yieldedness is the most beautiful and creative state a soul can be in. It frees me to do my most beautiful work in you, to surprise you with colors you have never imagined, to create in you a beauty that is beyond your own ability to conceive. This also means learning to radiate the beauty that is emerging. A work of art is not created to be hidden in a dark room. It is created to be seen, to be shared, to bring light and inspiration to others. As this new beauty of peace, of compassion, of wisdom emerges in you, do not hide it. Do not be afraid of it. Let it shine. Allow the new colors of your soul to be seen in your actions, in your words, in the very quality of your presence. When you feel the beautiful pigment of compassion stirring, express it in an act of kindness. When you feel the clear light of your new wisdom dawning, share it with a gentle word. When you feel the quiet joy of your healed heart blossoming, let it be seen in your smile by simply, authentically living as the beautiful being you are becoming. You become a vessel of my beauty in the world. You become a walking gallery of my restorative art, a living testament to the glorious truth that from the ashes of our deepest ruin, a new and breathtaking beauty will emerge. This is your sacred cooperation, my beloved. It is a journey of embracing your past, of honoring your healed wounds, of yielding to my present work, and of courageously radiating the beauty that is your future. It is a journey from seeing yourself as a ruin to knowing yourself as a masterpiece. And I am with you, your loving artist, delighting in every new stroke of color, every new line of grace, and celebrating the magnificent, emerging beauty that is you. Becoming a vessel of beauty means you no longer have to strive to be beautiful. You simply have to be, and allow the beauty that I have forged within you to emanate naturally. It is a shift from effort to essence. Your beauty is no longer in what you do, but in who you are. This cooperation also involves a new kind of self-care. It is the care an art curator would give to a priceless masterpiece. You learn to protect yourself from that which would scratch, stain, or diminish the beauty I am creating. You choose relationships that honor the masterpiece, not those that would seek to deface it. You choose thoughts that are aligned with your beauty, not those that would throw mud upon the canvas. This is not selfishness. It is a sacred stewardship of the divine art that is your own soul. As you embrace this role, you will find a new joy in your own existence. It is the joy of the artwork that knows it is in the hands of a master. It is a joy that is peaceful, that is confident, that is deeply, profoundly at rest. The anxiety of having to create your own beauty is gone, replaced by the peaceful delight of witnessing my beauty emerge through you. The ashes have served their purpose. They have been transformed into the very substance of your new splendor. And now, your life is the canvas, my spirit is the brush, and my love is the infinite palette of colors from which a new, more profound, and more radiant beauty is being and will continue to be created. Become this vessel, my child. It is your truest, most beautiful, and most joyful destiny. Every time you choose to see the beauty in your own story, every time you honor your scars as a testament to grace, every time you yield to my creative touch, you are adding your own brushstroke of faith to the masterpiece. This is our co-creation, a beautiful dance between my artistry and your willing heart. The world is so in need of this kind of beauty. My child, a beauty that is not shallow or superficial, but one that is deep, authentic, and born of redeemed suffering. This is the beauty that brings true hope, for it proves that no ruin is final, that no ash is without purpose, and that in the hands of a loving God, even the most desolate of landscapes can be transformed into a garden of breathtaking and everlasting beauty. So embrace your story, honor your scars, yield to my hand, and let the magnificent beauty that has been forged in you now shine forth for all the world to see. You are not a ruin. You are a renaissance. You are not the ash. You are the phoenix, beautiful in its rising. And you are my beloved masterpiece. And my delight in you is boundless. My beloved child, my precious masterpiece, as you have learned to so beautifully cooperate with my divine artistry, as you have embraced your whole story, honored your scars, and become a willing, yielded canvas for my loving hand, the glorious purpose of this entire transformative journey now comes to its full and radiant fruition. The work of the artist is now revealed, and the outcome is a life that radiates my glory, a life that has become a thing of profound and unique beauty, destined to bring light, hope, and inspiration to a broken and waiting world. The desolation of the ash heap is now and forever redeemed, for from it has emerged a beauty so resilient, so authentic, so filled with my light, that it becomes a living testament to my power to make all things new. This is the culmination of the promise I whispered to you when you sat amidst the ruins from the ashes. Beauty will emerge. And now, my child, you are that emerged beauty. You are my work of art, unveiled, a living, breathing demonstration of my redemptive love. Your life, which once felt like a story of ruin, is now a magnificent portrait of grace. And your very being, which once felt so heavy with the dust of despair, now radiates a luminous, holy light. What is the nature of this life that radiates my glory? It is, first and foremost, a life that shines with the radiance of your unique beauty. The beauty you now embody is not a generic, manufactured perfection. It is a beauty that is entirely, authentically yours. A beauty that has been deeply informed by your own unique journey. It is a beauty that has depth, that has character, that has been forged in fire and amended with gold. The compassion in your eyes is more beautiful because it has been washed with your own tears. The strength in your spirit is more beautiful because it has been tempered in the furnace of your own trial. The wisdom on your lips is more beautiful because it has been gleaned from the difficult chapters of your own story. Do not ever believe that you must now hide your past in order to be beautiful. No, my child, your past, in all its brokenness and all its redemption, has become an integral part of your splendor. You are like a magnificent stained glass window, crafted from pieces of glass that were once shattered. Now, held together by the leading of my love, when the sun of my spirit shines through you, you cast a breathtaking, multi-hued, and unique light into the world, a light that an unbroken pane of glass could never create. This hard-won, authentic beauty is the glory that now radiates from you. And it is a sight that brings immense delight to my heart. This radiant life also becomes a source of profound hope and inspiration for a broken world. You are now a living testament, a walking story of what is possible with me, when others, who are sitting in their own ash heaps, who are surrounded by the ruins of their own lives, look upon you. They will not see someone who has never known suffering. They will see someone who has known a desolation as deep as their own, and yet has emerged from it, not bitter, not broken, but beautiful, whole, and radiant with a quiet joy and a gentle strength. And in seeing you, they will find a flicker of hope for themselves. Your life becomes a powerful, silent sermon that declares, there's hope after the fire. There's life after the loss. There's beauty after the breaking. You will not have to preach this message with your words. Your very being will preach it with undeniable and compelling power. You become a lighthouse built upon a rock that has been battered by storms. Your light now shining out, not to boast of its own brilliance, but to guide other lost and struggling ships towards the safe harbor of my grace. To be a source of such authentic hope, my child, is a purpose of the highest, most holy order. And it is a purpose for which your journey through the ashes has now perfectly prepared you. And ultimately, my beloved, a life that radiates this beauty and this hope is a life that radiates my glory. For the beauty that shines from you is a reflection of my own artistry. The strength you now possess is a reflection of my own power. The compassion that flows from you is a reflection of my own heart. The hope you now embody is a reflection of my own resurrecting life. When people look at you and marvel at your peace, at your wisdom, at your gentle strength. They are, in truth, marveling at me, the divine artist who has created such a masterpiece from such broken materials. Your life becomes a Magnificat, a song of praise to my redemptive love. You bring me glory not by achieving a state of flawless perfection, but by being a living, breathing testament to my power to bring beauty from ashes. This is the greatest purpose of all. My child, to be a vessel through which my own goodness, my own love, my own glory can be made visible to a world that so desperately needs to see it. It is not a glory you have to strive for. It is a glory that radiates from you naturally, effortlessly, as you simply live as the beautiful, restored, on whole being you have become. Embrace this radiant life with a humble and grateful heart. My beloved, it is the glorious fulfillment of the promise that has sustained you through your darkest night. You are no longer defined by the ruin, but by the restoration. You are no longer identified by the ashes, but by the beauty that has emerged from them. You are a work of my art, a poem of my grace, a symphony of my redeeming love, and your life, from this day forward, is destined to be a radiant expression of my glory in the world. This is not a future hope. It is your present reality. The unveiling has happened. The masterpiece is complete for this season. And you are now invited to simply be who you have been remade to be, a beautiful, strong, and radiant soul, whose very existence brings light to the world and immeasurable joy to the heart of your loving God. Shine, my precious one, for this is the beautiful and glorious purpose for which you have been so lovingly, so patiently, and so perfectly created and redeemed. The beauty that you now carry is an enduring beauty. It is not a fragile thing that can be easily lost or broken again, for it is a beauty that has been forged in the very reality of brokenness itself. It knows the nature of the fire, the desolation of the ash, and it has been made resilient, wise, and strong through that very knowledge. This is a beauty that lasts, a beauty that deepens with time, a beauty that will continue to unfold in new and even more glorious ways as you continue to walk with me and as you live from this place of radiant beauty. You will find that your life becomes a magnet for more beauty, more goodness, more love. You are no longer resonating at the frequency of ruin and despair, but at the high, clear, and beautiful frequency of your redeemed and whole self. And you will begin to attract experiences and relationships that are in harmony with this new and beautiful song your soul is singing. This is the great and joyful harvest of your long season of sorrow. The ashes have produced a beauty that is beyond all comparison. The ruin has become the foundation for a temple of light. The fire has resulted in a spirit so refined, so beautiful, so radiant, that it now serves as a perfect and glorious reflection of my own heart. This is the miracle I have performed, and it is marvelous in my eyes and in the eyes of all of heaven. Let your life now be a simple and joyful expression of the masterpiece you have become. Do not strive to be beautiful. Simply be the beauty I have created in you. Do not strive to be a light. Simply let the light that I have placed within you shine. Do not strive to fulfill a purpose. Simply live as the purposeful, loving being that you now are, and your purpose will unfold naturally, gracefully, and powerfully. The greatest glory you can bring to me, your artist, is to simply, joyfully, and authentically be the magnificent work of art that I have so lovingly, so patiently, and so joyfully created your life in its redeemed and radiant beauty. Is my great masterpiece, unveiled now for all the world to see, as the gentle, beautiful light of your own redeemed soul now illuminates your path. My cherished child, let the profound peace of this new reality be your constant companion. The barren landscape of ruin, the desolate ash heap of your past, has been transformed by my loving, artistic hand into a garden of profound and resilient beauty. You have witnessed the sacred alchemy that turns sorrow into compassion, failure into humility, and brokenness into a radiant, golden testament to grace. You are no longer defined by what was lost in the fire, but by the beautiful, eternal qualities that the fire has revealed. Rest now in your own beauty. My beloved, it is not a beauty you have achieved, but a beauty you have received, a beauty that is your true and eternal nature. You are my masterpiece, a living work of art that radiates my glory and my delight in you. My cherished creation is boundless, and it will never end.